Hello. Kind of you to finally answer. We are the exalted chimera, envied by all the blind, arrogant fools. We are angst ex nihilo. We are nothing, a despicable failure. We are elan vital, the guide who won't lead astray, if only you learn to listen. We are death. How does it feel? Not a cloud in the sky. Have you forgotten what happened? Be seeing you, reader. It's a grim world out there.
Good evening, Grim. I hope you are doing well. I forgot to ask you yesterday, how did it feel going through almost a whole week on your own? Well, let us quickly go over the usual administrative matters. The papers. I see you have marked the appropriate number of profiles. Yay! Honestly, this corporate mandate is growing a bit tiresome. Oh well, what must... Speaking of, yesterday marked a significant moment in your career. Are you content with your evaluation? Oh, the fancy of my imagination. Take it as a metaphor. This reminds me, have you any questions? It has been a while since we had a personable dialogue. What do you mean? Oh, nothing of the sort. The world, and the people therein, create the situations themselves without our interference. Our data mongers assemble, collate, and examine wide swathes of data, and calculate the parameters for the necessary equilibrium. We do not directly cause deaths, although our choices can modify the structure slightly. In a sense. But this is certainly not a one-to-one sequence of causal links. You should consider, time works a bit differently in here. Anything else? The complexity of time. Imagine that it is not a fixed and stable entity. I am sure you did not think only 15 days have passed since your arrival. Considering the frequency and magnitude of events in your moderately sized region. Time is an inconsistent flux. While you rest, days, weeks, months may pass at different intervals. Profiles from diverse moments appear on the same day, interlaced, within a rhizome of time and space stretching beyond mere 4 dimensions. That is why causal links are difficult to establish, and the equilibrium is of unfathomable complexity. Anything else? You are a death spawn. I crafted you out of different materials. The store and places. Anything else? No. I am instead particular to this game called Go. Aesthetically pleasing, less violent and imperialistic. Anything else? Until tomorrow, Grim. Grimm, my fellow colleague, I have been deliberating a matter. Perhaps you can be of assistance. Should I become a writer? I could write many compelling works of fiction. I am an antique, after all. I have much experience. Why not? Indeed, why not? I shall continue my contemplation, but for now, it is time for daily feedback. All the files are in order. Excellent work. You are a testament to meticulousness. Well, off you go now. I must return to my deliberations. Deathspawn, I have been ruminating on the humans. They vex me. Why do they exist? Their presence still seems unnecessary. Would it all not be simpler without them? A system of mutual dependence, yet we have some hold on the steer. To put us right out of business and you out of existence? Would you really trade yourself for them? What a time it would be for us all. Never mind my ramblings. I acknowledge your patience and loyalty. I am all ears, Grim. Should you have some when we are dealing with matters much greater than you? Such is the nature of loyalty. Ha! Grand! A reaper demanding its due. Unfortunately, you will just have to live with it. Live. See what I... Where is your sense of humor? Well, I appreciated the discourse. Good night. Oh, right. Slipped my mind. Well, if it is that important to you. It seems you marked the proper amount of profiles. Well done and all that. Now depart. I have things to contemplate.
Batten down the hatches. 'Tis a storm of sails. Smokes are deadly, ye know. 'Tis gazing down the length of an infinite tobacco stick. An ancient shaman gifted me this pack after I rescued their child from the rabid coyote. Guess they weren't pleased with me good deed. Assume this visage and forever be reminded of the mortality of all. Shiver me timbers, 'tis a tale most sordid. I dare not even recall the details, but since ye wish to hear it, I shall tell it forthwith. There I was, scouting some rickety office building downtown, and I saw this in an elevator. Went in, tore it out and made a run for it. The device has immense power. Ye turn the knob, and infinite pleasant noises come from it. Some might even call it music. Used to belong to the ruthless corsair Thaddeus Thatcher, this one. 'Tis the last existing item of a lost civilization. Mad Thad landed in their village, gathered up each and every one. Sage and king and beggar alike. And let's Lady Luck through this very coin cast judgment on all. About half the civilization died that day. The rest doomed to a slow extinction. Then me crew laid upon Thad's war gallery near the gorge of Telenor. The battle was merciless, but the treasure was most exquisite. Anyway, 'tis useful if ye can't decide what to eat for dinner.
Grimm, welcome. Remember when I told you of my idea to become an author? I think I have reached a conclusion. Then listen up, you silly bonehead. Truly, I have decided to set myself upon the path of grand artistry. I shall compose a novel most illustrious, one that will explain everything. Certainly, once it is finished, you will be the recipient of the first copy of the first printing. Anyway, we have some official business to take care of, yes? The tedium of profiles. Nothing amiss here, as far as I can see. Your adherence to the rules is admirable. Now I bid thee goodbye. The inaugural words of the greatest novel of all time will be engraved tonight. Grim, why are you here? Oh, right. The daily... always in positions when I have important research to perform. Let us get on with it. I see the exact amount of profiles necessary. Good job, I guess. Yes, that should suffice, I imagine. Questions, Grim. Fine. I have trouble finding inspiration anyway. Perhaps your questions will assist me. Make sure they are deep and meaningful. No idea. Our immortality precludes us from such knowledge. Yet, I imagine it would be a pleasant release. In that case, at least one only dies once. But more likely, death is just nothingness. And nothing, being nothing, has no inherent positive or negative effects. Any other questions? Not in the sense that humans consider it, no. Grim, that is just stupid. Because they seem to find themselves in life-threatening situations all the time? Life is unpredictable and lacks an innate meaning. I imagine it is up to them to make their lives meaningful. Even if it sometimes ends up being fatal. Any other questions? Unlikely. One must make do with what they have. Art does seem an attempt of immortalization, as humans feel the ever-present breath of death. A hybrid of entertainment, meaning-making, and the preservation of a facet of identity, carved into matter that might outlast the being itself. At least until all matter ceases to be. Any day now. Any other questions? Grand. Goodbye, Grim. The muse beckons. Haha, Grim, jolly good. As you may have noticed, I am absent. I decided for a short vacation. It is a weekend, after all, and the free time will be essential for research. For the novel, yes? Hello, Grim, are you there? Curse this useless apparatus. It never works when I need it. So, perhaps you are wondering about the nature of vacations in our profession. Well, those are for highest management only. I mean, it is not as if you need one. Technically, you are just an amalgamation of ingredients. You are not even alive. But what of the conduct overview, you may be thinking? To be honest, I cannot be bothered at the moment. I am certain you have done well enough. Now, I must go submerge myself. Toodles, Grim.
Doubloons will get ye anything, matey. Well, scuttle me boat, why don't ye? Clear as a crisp spring morn, I remember the day, in the cave at the bottom of an ocean, but 'twas guarded by a horrendous beast. So, had no choice but to underwater arm wrestle the kraken. All 8 tentacles. Afterwards, I met a hag with crow feet wrinkles on her face, and wrinkled crow faces on her feet. She knew me well, though we had not met before. Gifted me this ominous glow. Maybe 'twas a warning of a kind. Maybe she just fancied me. I did die about a week later. My, 'tis a true classic. See, me and me crew were sailing round the side polar terminus, freezing our nuts off. Blinding storms, icy blizzards. Them's some ruthless times. Dog eat dog, they say. Or pirates eat pirates, more like. Got lucky to find a whole field of tundra cotton when we did. Made some cloaks to keep the bones warm. Much too warm nowadays, though, so you're more than welcome to it. Core blimey, how did this wee monster even get here? 'Tis not really all that valuable plunder. Found the tiny fellow on the riverbanks of Styx itself. A lifeless, adorable thing. Can't imagine it being useful for anything. But sure makes delightful squeaks when ye stroke it.
You would not believe the fun I am having. Such a transformation from the monotony of the office. It almost makes it all seem worthwhile. Yes, you expect your daily summary, but I still cannot find it in me to burden myself with this matter. So, off you go. about we skip the pleasantries and get back to usual pointless drudgery? Right. I see the exact amount of profiles requested. At least someone seems to be up to their task. Oh, whatever. You? No, Grim, you have not. Why am I livid? Because the rest of highest management thought it necessary to remind me that taking sudden leave is detrimental to our aspirations. Because they thought to admonish me for taking a couple of days to perform important research. Because, as was reminded, the saying goes, how was it? Nothing in life is more certain than... Yes, exactly. Either way, the nerve they have to lecture me on how to do my job. No matter, Grim. I apologize for taking it out on you.